Good morning and happy Friday. Uh, my wife and I had a great vacation and we both came back sick. So, apologies for the sniffling and coughing and general grossness. Um, yeah, so sorry there's been no video for a while, but I've come back to something that all of you may know about, but I did not. And I haven't played with it yet. So I thought I'd kind of do this together. Um, but let me know if you've heard. So we've all used patterns. Patterns are this beautiful thing now in WordPress. You can make uh, components or pieces of content and layout, and you can save it and reuse it throughout the site. Part of the problem's been though that it is the same, and so one of the ways we've gotten around this, and I've done a video on it, is using advanced custom fields and using the query loop and GenerateBlocks, excuse me, and saving the pattern with that query loop, and then have it inherit uh, the the page query, I guess, so it picks up on those custom fields. But anyway, so it turns out there's a much easier way to do that, sort of. So yeah, I'm in the design portion, and just in case, like, I don't ever visit this piece of WordPress, but it's under appearance, design, and we're going to jump into patterns. So sorry. So I'm going to look at this test pattern. So let's say you want to give your clients a block that is maybe this piece of text on one side, an image on the other, and so this is built, or the layout is, at least in GenerateBlocks. I think I'm just using a grid. Yep. But the rest of these items are WordPress blocks. So this is, headline. This is image. Whoa, that's crazy. And yeah, so for all intents and purposes, this is a let's just go drop this in somewhere. It's a excuse me, just one moment. Okay, sorry about that. I'm at that point in my illness where I wish I could just kind of flush out my entire nasal cavity. Sorry, that's disgusting. Okay, so let's go to a page. We'll go to the About page. We all know what pattern does. So I can come in here. What is that? A spacer. So let's come in here and let's our test pattern component. Okay, so that's what it is. I can edit the original, but it's going to change it anywhere I put it. So I can save that, refresh the About page. There's my pattern. Okay. So let's say I go down here and I want to put it in again. There it is. Same thing. But what if I want to treat it as like a component that can be edited? So that we have that, and we have that. So edit the original. Yeah, let's take a look at this. So I was completely unaware of this, and I was on the GenerateBlocks Facebook group maybe. So within this, I click on advanced, I get this enable overrides. What? I was completely unaware. So I haven't done this yet. So let's see what this does. I have got to give it a name. So, well, first let's rename this block, or this pattern. So let's rename it, and it's text image pattern. That's not. text and image side by side. I don't need to call it pattern. It is a pattern. Okay. And let's say we also need like some paragraph text. So that is an H2. Okay, that's cool. So I wonder if I need to define that, or I'm getting ahead of myself. I want to call this an H2 text and image because I might make an H3 or H4. Block. Okay, and here's the default image. Man, that's squirrely looking. Okay, so now collections, local. Oh, block. Okay, advanced. Enable overrides. Recipe pattern. Custom sync pattern suited context. Name this block to specify an override. I wonder if the name of the block has to be unique across the site or just unique within this instance for this block. In other words, if I had another block, maybe one that's text and image or image and text where the image is on the left side, and I were to call this just block headline, if it would mess with it. Let's see. Okay, so we'll just call this, I'm just going to call it block headline. And we're going to call this block text. It's making it purple. Okay. Yes, and even images. Block image. Okay. And save. Now let's go back. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is so cool. I did not know this was here. So I can essentially say, Yoda telling Luke to grow up, man. I'm so sorry for all the snorting. And well, I got to replace the photograph now. But then we can come down here. Okay, let's start with the image. Okay, cool. Cool. Holy cow, this is I just completely missed the boat on this. That's very cool. Okay, so the problem here is that you cannot use GenerateBlocks components. So if I go down to advanced, yeah, so I don't get that enable overrides option until I change it to a default WordPress block, content block. You know what? But that's okay, because if I want to style this a little differently, I can do that. I can do that because so if I want to use generate block styling, I still have this, so I can tell it. Yeah, I don't even have to create a global style. I can come in and do this and, make it bold if I want. And what if, let's see. New, oh, no. Let's see, H2. Yikes. I thought there was a, maybe I don't have an italic available for that font. Oh, well. Let's, maybe it's a color. Anyway, just goofing around here. This opens up the window for a lot of, opens up the doors for a lot of opportunities that, so this makes, there are a lot of cases for things like this where you think you need, like, well, I've got to create like an ACF custom block or something like that, or something I can reuse in place and swap out content, but apparently not. And I can see how this would come in handy. I'd want to push it to see what all is possible, like buttons. Wait, is that a generate blocks button? It is. So, wait, why do I have the other buttons turned off? Maybe I do. Hold on a minute. Apparently I do. Okay, I might need to fix that and come back. Hang on just a second. Okay, I'm not sure. Like, I haven't used the default WordPress buttons in so long. Like, is this it? Is that? Did you get? Okay. There it is. Oh my gosh. Okay. And I'm just going to put in a bogus link there if I can change it. Okay. Block button. No, I haven't styled it, but let's see. I mean, I could do that. Could even. Let's see what happens. I'll refresh now. Oh, it's giving that crazy thing. Okay. But again, using generate blocks. Okay, so it's meant so you can put in a group of buttons. That's not a bad idea. Blah, blah, blah. Padding display, line block. Let's see. Okay, border radius. Good grief. Okay, so let's take that and back to our container. Let's add a new. Okay. Yep, that's fine. Let's change the background to blue. It's working. And spacing. I might need to excuse myself again. Yeah. That's kind of big, but that's okay. The point is here, I'm wanting to show border radius 2. And let's make it all the same. Okay. Yep. Uh-oh. It didn't take my color. Oh, I see. Okay. Well, you get the idea. That might cause things specificity to 1A. Okay. We might can fix that real quick. Going to edit our selector, and we're going to add an anchor element, or the A. I think it means anchor. Okay. Oh, no. A up link. Now, why did it do that? I don't want this to turn into a CSS lesson, but it. Oh, well, there it goes. So this is not a master class in layout, but you get the idea. Like, so it uses, again, the built-in blocks or default blocks, whatever you want to call it, in WordPress. You can't use GenerateBlocks elements or blocks to change or not dynamically to override. But we can still style it by using those child selectors for like the containing element. And I mean, you could go so far as to add a container around each one of these if you wanted to like get some more fine grained control, or depending on how you wanted to do it. I don't want to add any more markup, so I'm using just what I'm given here. And I think that's fine. What else do I want to do? What else do I want to try? Let's see. Let's do a little. Just to see. And let's give it just a little border radius. Why that just kind of softens it a bit. Yeah, I mean, not the greatest in the world here, but let's change grid layout. Wait. Okay, and there are some issues with margin. Okay, that's fine. We'll give it a little to rim on the bottom, and we're going to make, no, we'll stick to that. Left padding, we're going to make 2. And maybe the yeah, so anyway, And I can probably get rid of that space under there. Usually you can make your image a block. Oh, that figure. Okay. We can take care of that. So now we can go to that containing element and we can target the image within, or at least the figure, and say margin 0. See what that does. I think that did it. Yeah, so that's not looking just, well, that's better. I guess my Yoda image isn't quite big enough to fill that space. But anyway, so these could be like, news call outs. It could be little insets for asides, quotes, testimonials. I feel like this is such a big thing that I really wish I would have known about this. Did I? Okay. Let's go back to that page and let's play with the button now. Really, seriously, I want to know who all did, tell me in the comments, did all of you know about this? Like, when did they release this? When did this happen? Because I feel like this is big and I just completely overlooked it. Uh, this is so great. You just click on it. Yeah, I know that probably is not anything. Would that be fun to see though? Okay, and it's save, and now it could get really fancy. Well, excuse me. So then there comes into play, like, how fancy does the block need to be? Do I want to, obviously with this technique, you'd have to have separate blocks. Like, say if you did want the image on the left side and the text on the right side, you'd have to create or duplicate this block and change it around. If you were to do this the custom block route, you could have your own switch in place that would take care of it. But not to have to code anything and be able to like just whip this up with a few clicks and naming some things. Okay, now I do want to test one more thing. In fact. Okay, let's go to edit original and let's go to duplicate. And now let's change this to text. And we're going to, so the text is first. So let's do, I don't know if you really have to specify one, but yeah, okay. So now these are all still the same. Where can you look and see? Oh, block button. What? What is this? What? What? Okay. Why won't that go away? Create template part. General templates often perform specific like explain post content. I don't know what that is, but I'm very curious. Okay, if I rename it, does it rename? This block allows if I change the name can cause problems. Content. Okay, so the name of the instance. Okay, so let's see. So let's save this. Now let's go back. Whoa. Okay. Now I'm curious to know about these. Man, I'm so sorry. No. Oh, did I screw this up? Okay, just a second. I think I did. Hang on. Okay, yes, I had completely borked that. So I fixed it now. So here's the image and text, and here's the text and image. And I know that's probably not a great way to name those, but it helps me. Okay, so now let's go back out of here. So I want to test how it affects. Like more pages and about. So I've left these named the same. Where? Nope. Give me that little in between. Yep. Okay. Image. Image and text. Text and image. Oh, what's happening? So, oh, I do know what's happening. Okay, so check this out. I've run into this before and it's easily fixable, but just to show you, because we like to be thorough, right? Wait, let me refresh and let me go empty my head. Hang on. Okay, so if you remember, I simply duplicated. And so what's happening is, or I duplicated the pattern. So I'll bet, yep. So the same class names that GenerateBlocks had created were applied to both. So that's why the styling is the same. So we're going to fix that. So we're going to go back to patterns. And I guess there's not an easy way to remedy that, like on the GenerateBlock side. When classes are being generated automatically like that. Okay, so I have image. So that's the new one, right? Yes, that's the old one. That's the new one. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that and we're just going to duplicate it and we're going to delete the old one. Instance overrides. Yeah, no. Okay. And all those are still in place. Okay. So let's save that. So it should have, yes, new classes applied. So now if I inspect it, Now GenerateBlocks has done its job, and is that? Oh yeah, there we go. So it's the original. So it generated a new number, a new ID, or whatever. And I've had that happen so many times, wondering like, why in the world is the layout doing this? And I have told it in the styling not to do this, but it's still doing it. And yeah, that's what it's doing. Okay, now the moment of truth. Let's go back to the about page, and we're going to update that style, or I'm sorry, that block, the content in that block. And I want to know more of Yoda doing his thing. Just leave it like that. And I don't like that these buttons aren't styled the way they show up on the front end, but I feel like that's a small issue relatively. Bleh, Star Wars, Yoda. Really interested to know if these go anywhere. Actually, I want that to stay the same. Can I still replace it though? If I do like that, let's change that one back. Or you know what? It doesn't have to be Yoda. I really want to know if it's different, but if it's gonna, I want it to be different than the placeholder. We can leave that. Okay. Moment of truth. Because I want to know if the variable names, placeholder names, whatever you want to call them, if they have to be unique site-wide or just within the instance of the block, of the component, of the pattern, of whatever you want to call it. Okay. Okay, that looks okay. That links to Star Wars. Does uh-oh. Did I not? Maybe I didn't update that link. I want to know where that goes. No tauntauns. Okay. I may not even be spelling that right. I have no idea. Why didn't that? Oh, I guess I didn't save it. Yoda? Okay. Oh, wait. Can I? I can. New tab. Okay. So I'm going to draw things to a close here. I feel like we've played with this. We've done a little experimenting. We've showed how GenerateBlocks can still be used to style the content in these, even though you have to use the built-in WordPress blocks. Does Yoda have a place? No, they didn't give Yoda his own URL. Yeah, so anyway, dang. I feel like this is a huge game changer that, like, I don't know why this was not bigger news, or maybe I just missed it and I have no idea. I put in an extra return there, I think, and I shouldn't have. Get rid of that. So this is a cool feature and one that I'm definitely going to be using. There was an instance on a site I was working on just recently. It's a municipal site for a city, but all the different departments have these beginning sections of the page that has like the name of the person, their title that's over that department, their phone number, I think an email, a website, things like that. Now, a downside of this, unless there's something I'm missing, is that you can't hide fields that don't have a value. So, for instance, if I don't need a button, you can't just delete the button, can you? No. It'd be great if you could hide it. Okay, so not perfect, but man, I mean, you could just make another one of these, duplicate it, and have one with button, one without button. I mean, you'd end up with a lot of patterns, but still, again, to think that you don't have to code this, you just build it right in WordPress. So anyway, very, very cool. Glad to be back. Glad to be making videos again. Have some other ideas for things to share. And again, I'm gonna start getting more into coding stuff. This was just a neat thing I picked up that I wanted to explore. I thought it'd be fun to explore together. But yeah, more's coming. Um, Man, GeneratePress is getting better and better. The modal stuff, the overlays, the mega menus, and all that. Um, GenerateBlocks, I know, has some cool stuff coming down the pipes, and yeah, I have some other things that I'd like to share too from some other plugins. Uh, uh, yeah, I'll get into that later. But please like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. Leave me comments. Tell me what you want to see. Give me some feedback, and I want to make some more fun stuff. I feel like some of it's not so fun anymore, but stuff that's still interesting, and we should consider it fun because we want to tick all the boxes and to hone our craft. So yeah, all of you have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you next week.